All right, last but not least, let's talk about setting the appointment or not setting the appointment at this point. If we've already determined that maybe they're not motivated enough, maybe they're not qualified, or maybe they thought they were motivated until we had a good conversation with them, and we found out that they're really not motivated like we mean it. If all those things are great, we're all good to go. Setting the appointment is kind of putting the lock on things. You do not want to fumble around with this. Do not, drag it out forever. Do not, tap dance around. Once you know that you have somebody that is a good prospect, and they're not even a prospect anymore, now they're a target. We're going to go after them. Set the appointment and set it in stone, and there's a particular dance to that. It's not complicated, but, you need to set some good expectations for what's going to go on in that appointment. So that when they get there, they're ready. You need to set date and time, and you need to test close. And that last part's not something that you should leave out, because, again, that really kind of throws the ring around everything and encapsulates it all. Like, you use that test close to say, when I get there, you said 110 works. We're going to go through. We're going to take some photos. We're going to go through the contract. We'll get it signed up and get moving forward. And they're either going to say yes or no. So let's take a look at that. Let's jump into setting the expectation, right? So I don't know how many of you guys have ever been on a blind date. I have. A lot of times somebody setting you up will say, oh, yeah, you're going to like this. Oh, here's my friend, she looks just like Katy Perry. And you get there, and she looks a little bit more like this, right? Expectations, they're important. So if you have good expectations, everybody knows what's going to go on. There's no surprises. There's no bumps in the road. Things get wrapped up. And really, what it really does for you is it maintains a relationship. Because if you set false expectations and, you have something that could have been a deal, and you get out there and you try and change the game, or you start dancing around, or you change up what you were going to do, not only do you look like you're not credible, the deal falls apart. You lose the trust, you lose the relationship, you lose the opportunity to make 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever grand, all because you screwed up one little piece of the puzzle. Set good expectations. When you're going out there, tell them what the plan is. When you roll up, say, hey, you ready to sell your house today? Great. Let's walk through here. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to walk through. I'm going to take some pictures. You can maybe show me around a little bit, and then we're going to sit down. We'll take a look at some of the information, and we'll go through the contract. If that all makes sense to you, if you have any questions, I'll answer them. We'll run through there. We'll fill it all out, and then what's going to go on is that I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to give it to you, and then I'm going to send it off to escrow. I'm going to get title opened up for you and get you a copy of the earnest money check. And we're going to be good to go. And then I'm going to be touching you every 3 days just to make sure that you know what's going on and we can get this wrapped up quickly. And if you have any questions, you can always call me. You need to set expectations. You're the driver. You are in charge of that conversation, and you need to take on that role. Something that you want to think about, if you set good expectations, when they're driving to that appointment, they know what's going to go on. They go, Chris is going to show up. He's going to pay me $100,000, and it's not what I wanted, but it is going to cover everything I need. You need to be very, very aware in a very telepathic, inside of somebody's mind way what that conversation in the car is on the way there. When they're driving to that house, what are they talking about? They're driving there. What are they thinking about? Are they thinking, oh, man, this is going to be horrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to him, and then I'm going to call my cousin, and I'm just going to see what he has to say. No. When they're driving there, when they're in their car on the way to that house, you want them thinking about how they're going to spend the money that they're about to get. You need them already having emotionally committed to the deal, and to them, it's already signed. I mean, just going to meet them is simply a formality. You want them already committed to signing that contract. And when they're driving there, they're thinking about the boat. They're thinking about their trip to the south of France. They're thinking about, paying off their credit cards. They're thinking about whatever, but the deal's already done because you've set good expectations. When you're doing that, when you're setting expectations on the phone, when you're saying, hey, I'm going to come out there, we're going to get this signed up. We're going to get it off to escrow. Now, when I say that stuff, I'm talking in the future tense. Those are assumptive clauses. I'm talking as if it's already done. And what that does is it sets them up in their mind that it is already done. They're not still vacillating about whether or not this is a good price. They're not still wondering, oh, am I going to do this or do that? To them, they're like, yeah, it is, okay, and then we're going to go to escrow. And where is this escrow? And then you've already got them emotionally committed. By using those assumptive clauses, by using good language, you've put them in a position emotionally where it's not a big deal to sign the contract. That's simply a formality, and that's why they're going there to meet you. So that's all I'm going to say about that.